Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. Hopefully you've subscribed. If you haven't already, why don't you hit that subscribe button before we jump into this. I'm going to talk about the SPTV Foundation, but before that, I just want to point out I recently, earlier today, posted this video. Scientology's master propagandist gives my channel a shout out on his show. It's about Mitch Brisker. It's just a couple minutes. A few days ago, I left a comment during his live stream, and he talked about me for a minute. So just to fan my vanity, I made a short video about that. Mitch seems to be a good guy. I'm not, friends with him behind the scenes or anything like that. I'm not enemies with him. But he has a lot of good information. He seems to shy away from the drama that seems to be engulfing the ex-Scientology world right now. He has a lot of good information in the book that he talks about. So check out his channel if you haven't already. Hopefully you'll subscribe to it and buy his book or download it or get it from the library or support him in any way that you want, as well as, supporting other people in the ex or post-Scientology world. Now, I wanted to talk about couple of videos that I did about the SPTV Foundation. I'm going to go over to the SPD Foundation website. This is 3:55 p.m. West Coast time on January 26th. I'm going to hit refresh here. Okay. And click on the About. And sure enough, just as I checked a few minutes ago, nothing shows up. So all the information from the About page has been taken down as far as directors and other things like that. So I wanted to talk about people's comments because there's some good comments, and I speculated on who was still left on the foundation, speculating that Reese, Zach, and Jenna were probably off of it, based on what other people have said. That's not necessarily what I came up with on my own, but up until recently, their pictures still appeared on the page that isn't showing right now. Somebody mentions here Chris Shelton has great info, not like Aaron Smith-Levin, who is all drama. Okay, thank you. This person says the SPTV Foundation is violating the rules of nonprofits. On their website, they have photos of board members. Several board members have links to their for-profit YouTube pages, which have links for personal donations and merchandise. If you click the photos, you'll see some of these links, including Aaron, Jenna, Reese, Brown, and George LaBanca. I had notified Zach over a week ago that he was in violation, and to his credit, deleted his link to YouTube. I am reporting those that are in violation to several state attorneys general. That's interesting that you are so concerned about that. I don't know if that actually is a violation of any law. I did check after you posted this, and sure enough, many of the people whose pictures appeared had links to their YouTube channels, although not everybody. And a few of the people, when you clicked on it, it gave you an error message. This person, Grandma Janet from Another Planet, New York. I don't understand why you are sharing information that you have no idea is true or false. The information that I shared was what was being shown on the SPTV Foundation website. So that's where that's coming from. Any organization helping support people getting out of Scientology has value. I definitely agree with you there, Grandma Janet, assuming that they're really helping people get out of Scientology and survive in the post-Scientology world. And I'm not disputing that the Aftermath Foundation or the SPTV Foundation was doing that, but we want to make sure that foundations that are receiving money to do good work really are able to spend that money in an appropriate manner, and that there's not a bunch of turmoil within the board, including board members having inappropriate relationships with each other or things like that. Honestly, there was literally no purpose to this video. Well, I disagree with you, but I appreciate your comment. Everyone on the board is a volunteer. That's correct. They do what they do when they can have time. How many nonprofit boards are you on? Well, that's a good question, Grandma Janet. If you live out here in Washington County, Oregon, you may have heard of me because I'm on a number of boards or have been in the past. I'm currently the vice president of the Aloha Historical Society. I'm the chair of the county's Board of Property Tax Appeals. I was the longtime chair of the Westside Cultural Alliance, which became the Tualatin Valley Creates. I was on the Planning Commission for a couple terms. I was a member of that county budget committee. I was a civil service commissioner for a partial term. I was a budget member, committee member of the local park district, which is the largest special park district in the state of Oregon. I was on the budget committee for about 8 years. I was on the $100 million bond oversight committee for that organization for 8 years. I was a member of the Tualatin Soil and Water Conservation District budget committee for a couple years. I was on the Cultural Coalition, which is the county's arts board that gives out money from the Oregon Cultural Trust. I actually served another term after I stepped off for a while due to rules of the bylaws. I was a member of the Park and Recreation Board of the county, including chairman for a few years. A nonprofit that deals with civic education, the Washington County Public Affairs Forum. I was the first vice president for a term and then treasurer for a couple years. I was a member of the Urban Road District Maintenance Advisory Committee for a few years. And on. I helped start the Aloha Community Library Association. If you go to their Wikipedia website, you'll see my name there, Anthony R. Mills. I was on the County Aging and Veteran Services Advisory Council and a local highway council. So that's some of my community service. It's actually not all of it, but it's what I have on my LinkedIn page. I would love to hear from you, Grandma Janet. What have you done to serve your community? So somebody replies, wrong, Grandma, a foundation is serious, and I agree. It's not serving on your local HOA, and that can be a very serious endeavor. The background of the person should show up. Also, there needs to be a few people not tied to Scientology, but bring experience to running a board. The website is junior high. Websites these days are pretty easy to make and look good. And if you don't have somebody on your board that can come up with a website, then maybe you need to spend some money or get an outside volunteer who knows web design to have a web page that looks good. So this person says, my husband used to watch Chris Shelton's channel to get to sleep, so who even knows if his listeners are aware. Thanks for that comment. I've never been a Scientologist and therefore do not fully know the mindset of Scientologists, and for that matter, ex-Scientologists. But one thing I get from listening to their various videos is they all tend to be individualists. When I was in BCT, the worst insult a drill sergeant could lay on one was calling that person an individual. Now, after that digression, why can't the ex-Scientologist expats give shout-outs to each other? Aaron's got a large website. Would it kill him to ask his users to subscribe to some of the smaller websites? For instance, the Church of Satirology is putting out some funny AI videos, or even a shout-out to this channel. If you've watched Aaron in the past, he has had a lot of people on that has pushed people to those websites. Mitch Brisker, Relatable Reese, all kinds of people. And some of those people he's obviously antagonistic towards. Other people he may be lukewarm towards, other people he may still be friendly with. So I think that Aaron in the past really has done a good job of introducing people, including myself, to other content creators in the ex or post Scientology world. Maybe I missed something, but I didn't previously know that you and Chris Shelton are not big fans of each other. Chris certainly has polemical on-screen personality and can have an air of superiority in common with many ex-Church of Scientologists, but I do believe that his heart is in the right place. I'm turned off by the drama reporting that is swamping Church of Scientology commentary channels since the Aftermath incident, diverting attention as it does from the real villain of the piece. And I agree with you, and the real villain of the piece is the Church of Scientology. So as far as Chris Shelton, I left a comment on his channel one day when he was saying that, or implying that all Republicans or anybody, swing voters, voting for Trump had a cult-like mentality. And I think that if you look at the political spectrum, which is, we often think of it as a left or right, but it's really at least kind of three-dimensional, an X and a Y and a Z axes. There are people on the far left and on the far right and extreme libertarians and extreme progressives that kind of have a cult-like mentality. But reasonable people can come to conclusions on whether they want to support Trump or Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and not be in a cult. Okay, there are economic and social values that people have that cause them to support one candidate over another. And Chris Shelton is an intelligent man. He's an educated man. He's always going on about his master's degree. And I have a master's degree, and a lot of people have master's degrees. And I'll tell you something. Just because you have a master's degree doesn't mean that you've mastered anything. But Chris Shelton's response to me, to my, non-bombastic comment was screw you. So that Chris, the sometimes therapist, who advertises himself as being available to consult on issues, his professional response was screw you. So that's why I point out that he and I are not fans of each other. I think he does create some valuable content. Sometimes his behavior and his voice can kind of grate people, and I get that, but I don't think my voice is all that great, and I think that we need to be respectful of somebody's ideas that might be good, even though they may not have a face for television or a voice for radio. So, but thank you for your comments. I think you and I are pretty much in agreement on a lot of stuff there. This says, because Jenna is the webmaster of that middle school homework project of a website. Apparently she's busy with other interests. Or, just busy with things. I understand that. She broke up with ASL. Drama continues. She's with him, I think is what that meant to say. This person says, pretty sure Zach is still on the board. He just deleted his YouTube channel. And, oops, this person said, yeah, Zach is no longer your lawyer friend, AA Ron. Okay, so we're going to go back. And I'm going to look at some of the comments in this similar video. And this person says, file fraud charges federal and state. I don't quite know what that means. I think that this person thinks that there's fraud going on the SPTV board. Let's see if there's anything else here. I think because I responded to people's messages here, they don't show up. That's fine. I just wanted to say a few of the people that responded to this video stated that Reese, Jenna, and Zach were no longer on the board. So that's where I get that information. And they seem to know what they were talking about. And that may be from actual videos where people have stated as such. Anyway, we've gone a little over 15 minutes here. I really appreciate your time. Please leave comments. Even if you disagree with me, I still respect, and I sometimes learn from people's comments. Check out my other videos, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the like button. Thanks, and we'll talk to you later.